Luke, I want to get better at harmonica, but I only have 5 minutes a day. What do I do?
As I went to confidently bestow my wisdom, I realized I didn't know. And so I trekked the globe, inquiring musical sages, trying exercise after exercise, seeking the answer. But alas, none could be found worthy.
I still don't know what to practice.
My quest took me all the way to Chicagoland, to the chord whisperer, Joe Falisco.
Patience, young grasshopper. I have what you seek.
At the feet of the patron saint of harmonica, I discovered one exercise that improves tone, locks in your rhythm, uncovers the secrets to breathing. An exercise that will help beginners and pros alike to advance every single day with just 5 minutes. One exercise to rule them all. But you won't get these benefits if you don't do the exercise right. So in this video, I'll take you through 4 levels of nailing this exercise so that you ditch your bad habits and get the most out of your 5-minute routine. Starting with level 1.
You possess many notes, but what you lack is tone.
The biggest problem most beginner and intermediate harmonica players have is weak tone, and it's a big problem because tone is a huge part of how we shape emotion in music. If someone walked in this door right now and said, "Fire," I'd be like, what? But if they come in and say, "Fire!" or even if they didn't say the word and they just said, I'd probably go follow them out just to go see what was going on. Tone matters. Cool licks don't matter if they sound like this. Then it's much less impactful than playing something much simpler with rich tone. Now this exercise is called the big tone train because it helps you develop big tone. And we get that big tone from 3 things: a deep relaxed mouth position, deep diaphragmatic breathing, and a nice gentle air pressure. For this video, I'm playing a harmonica in the key of C so that beginners can follow along. Drop your hands. Now bend them at the elbow and put them together, and you'll notice that they fall quite a bit short of your mouth. Raise your arms to get it to your mouth. Do not raise your shoulders. We're sitting up nice and tall. Everything is relaxed. Diaphragm, throat, mouth, face, nice and relaxed. Practicing in front of a mirror can help you identify and release any tension, and tension is the enemy of mastery. Now we're going to be articulating this at the back of the throat like a monkey. Starting with a blow and accenting the first exhale, we're going to blow out, and then we're going to breathe in. I want you to say this out loud with me. First, counting with numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now saying out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. And now ha ha. Hu, ha, huh. And now whispering it in air direction. And now put the harmonica in your mouth. We have a big vowel shape inside of our mouth, and the back of the tongue is dropped. The inside of the mouth should be exactly the same on the exhale as it is on the inhale. Nothing should change inside of the mouth. We have a nice deep relaxed mouth position. Our diaphragm is just pushing air out for 2 beats and pulling air in for 2 beats. And our throat is doing the individual articulations. As you're working on this and you're working on the vowel shape and lowering the back of your tongue, you're going to find a place where it starts to resonate in your head and the sound gets much bigger and warmer and rounder. And that's what we're seeking. It's simple, but it ain't just for beginners. I sat down and spoke with Ross Guerin, who has played harmonica on records by artists like Beyonce, Bon Iver, Kesha, Ben Folds, Timothée Chalamet, and he's also making this exercise a priority.
It's just a really awesome exercise. It's really paid dividends in all areas of my playing and just kind of control and connection to this apparatus.
And he also agrees that this is one of the best ways you can develop great tone.
We've all heard harmonica players who know a lot of the vocabulary, but it doesn't quite sound like the real deal. And a lot of that comes down to that sort of tone production.
But it puts the fun back into fundamentals, and it's a song you can actually perform. Check out 7 Days to Learning Harmonica if you're interested in learning how to perform this song with the whistle and everything. But in this video, we're going to learn how to maximize your growth on the harmonica with just 5 minutes a day. And the key that begins to unlock that is what we're going to learn in level 2. Let's go. Now that we've got our foundations to develop great tone, we can turn our attention to playing with great time and locking in the groove. As guitar player extraordinaire Reggie Wooten says,
The melody makes you remember, the harmony makes you feel, but the rhythm awakens the dead bones. It makes you move.
and rhythm is also where musicians connect their playing in space and time.
Whoa, that's deep.
Rhythm is the most important thing in modern music, and it's successfully executed by first learning how to internalize a beat. I'm a normal person, like you, who wasn't born with a natural ability in this area, and so I've really had to spend a lot of time working on it. I promise you, it's time well spent.
Well, if this is out there, think how much more is out there!
But how exactly do we learn to internalize a beat?
To conquer rhythm, one must first make peace with the metronome.
All right, before we learn to make peace with the metronome, I want to explain something about the concept of the gears of the train. Now, it's good to sway with the beat so that you can get your body connected. Think like a boxer, just a subtle twist. When we perform the train, we start out really slow, and then we get a little bit faster and a little bit faster, and then there's a point at which swaying is just getting too fast. So we have to shift gears from 1 pulse per sway to 2 pulses per sway. Did you see that? Let me rewind it and show you again. So when we're accelerating, that's moving from first gear to second gear. As we continue to increase our speed, there will be another point at which it's getting too hard. So we will readjust from 2 pulses per sway to 4 pulses, and that's what we call third gear. Now we can stay in third gear until infinity and beyond. We never have to go into 4th gear. So I just wanted to clarify that if you're doing the train and you're accelerating in a performance, the gears is about readjusting our body, not about making sudden jumps in speed. But for our purposes today, I'm teaching you this magic 5-minute drill where we find our cruising speed, play it with a metronome, and never break the groove. We've already played in first gear, which is 1 articulation per click, when we were working on our tone in level 1 of this video. Let's move to second gear now. I've got the metronome set at 60 beats per minute. Our mantra is, if you can say it, you can play it. So first, listen to the click and count along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in second gear, we're playing 2 pulses per click, so we're going to count twice as fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, now out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Now hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Huh, huh, ha, ha, huh, huh. Now whispering and changing air direction. And now put the harmonica in our mouth. The diaphragm is nice and relaxed, just pushing air out on 1 click and drawing air in on the next. The throat is pulsing 2 times per click. And by the way, don't hesitate to take the harmonica out of your mouth from time to time and just continue the rhythmic breathing without the harmonica for a minute. This can help us to stay relaxed as we're working on this stuff. Now, as we move to third gear today, I'm going to go ahead and reduce the metronome down to 50 beats per minute. If this is too fast, remember, you can slow down the speed of the video. So third gear is 4 articulations per click. If we can say it, we can play it. So count aloud with me. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Hoo, hoo, ha, ha. Now put the harmonica in your mouth. Our diaphragm is now pushing air out on the clicks and drawing air in halfway between each click. Let's just try that without the harmonica. and our throat is pulsing 4 times per click. Without the harmonica, with the big tone train, as we get faster and faster, we also want to focus on getting quieter and quieter, and remember to be accenting beat 1. This is the daily exercise to commit to. Find your cruising speed, put on a metronome, and never break the groove. Now, what do I mean by cruising speed? Well, metronomes have tap buttons. On my app here, we tap in the middle of this circle. Hoo hoo ha ha, hoo hoo ha ha, hoo hoo ha ha, hoo hoo ha ha. On my Chord KDM3, you tap up here. Hoo hoo ha ha, hoo hoo ha ha. Start playing your train, speed up to the fastest speed you can play without any tension, tap along on your metronome, and that's your cruising speed. Your daily exercise is to set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes and play along with the metronome at your cruising speed without breaking the groove. Then if you want to, each day you can increase your speed by 1 beat per minute. Beginners will probably play in the 40 to 80 beat per minute range. An intermediate might be more in the 80 to 100 beats per minute range. 100 to 130 would be fast, and 140 to 150 and above is Jedi level. But listen up, the goal is not just to play as fast as possible as soon as possible. Remember our friend Ross, one of the top harmonica players in LA?
It feels really different at different tempos. Faster and slower are not just faster and slower, but actually the mechanism and how you do it may kind of change a little bit. I don't necessarily feel like the goal is speed. If I could do something really fast, but it doesn't feel super comfortable at this middle tempo, then working on the middle tempo is just as useful, or maybe even more useful.
So work on playing with good time and good tone, nice controlled dynamics, playing quietly, but no matter what, never breaking the groove. At this point, you're probably discovering one of the biggest roadblocks we all hit at some point in our harmonica journey, and that's breathing.
Inhale, exhale.
I played for over 30 years before I cracked the code, and in level 3, I'm going to give you the secret that unlocks how to master breathing. By the way, if you're digging this lesson and you want to turbocharge your growth on the harmonica, you might be interested in checking out my Beginner to Boss course, where I take you in bite-sized bits from total beginner to total boss. You can check it out at harmonica.com. Now for level 3.
Before one learns to play, one must learn to breathe.
Most wind instruments are only played by blowing air. Harmonica is very unique in that it's played by both blowing and drawing. And it's one of the reasons that it's so good for your health and has been scientifically proven to improve lung function for people with ailments like COPD. I'm doing this video on my C harmonica so that beginners can follow along, but when I practice the big tone train, I actually play it on my G harmonica. The lower keys require more breath to activate the reeds, so they give you a better workout. If you were looking for a good excuse to buy another harmonica, now you've got a good excuse to go buy one in the key of G. And that's not just coming from me, it's also what our sensei Joe Falisco recommends. And speaking of Joe, it was his critique that gave me my breathing breakthrough a couple of years ago. I was working on a study song in the style of Sonny Terry and sent him a video of me playing it for his critique. And he said, "I see distress in your body, which tells me that you are not getting down into the lower range of breathing enough." Play from deeper in my lungs? What the heck does he mean? I mean, I was using deep diaphragmatic breathing. How can I breathe from any lower than that? After a couple of perplexed days, I finally got it, and it's been a total game changer. Let's break this down. Because we all naturally want to stay alive, depriving our bodies of oxygen will send us into a feeling of panic. But here's the thing, that feeling, which we call the asphyxiation reflex, can happen from running out of air or from running out of room in our lungs when they begin to overfill. So the first step is to ask yourself, are my lungs running out of air or are they overfilling with air? And this step can be trickier than you think. I get people all the time asking me to help them with their breathing, and they say, I'm running out of air. And my first question is always, are you sure you're running out of air? Are you sure you're not overfilling? And 8 times out of 10, they will come back and go, oh, I guess you're right, I'm actually overfilling.
Your focus needs more focus.
This graphic is incredibly helpful for visualizing this. I stole this from a PDF entitled Falisco's Breathing Guide. In the middle here, R is for relaxed. halfway between empty and full. From here to full is the upper range of your breathing, and from here to empty is the lower range of your breathing. When our lungs start to empty, our bodies will naturally fight to get some more air, and that can sabotage us as harmonica players by allowing air to come in through the nose or causing us to unconsciously gasp some air in through our mouths right before we play. Overfilling is the more common of the two scenarios, and it triggers a more visible reflex. This is what Joe saw in me when he gave me his critique. He wasn't telling me to breathe from lower in my lungs, he was telling me to work from a lower range within my lungs. In other words, he was saying, don't allow your lungs to get overinflated, try to keep them more deflated. We need to consciously train ourselves to play from the lower range of our lungs, and we need to learn to use the nose as a valve to equalize our lung pressure. Playing the train quietly is one of the best ways to practice this. I can play just through my mouth and nose at the same time, or just through my nose. This is the secret to keeping your lungs equalized.
Go find the balance.
We've covered 3 of the benefits of working with the big tone train, but becoming aware of level 4 gives you the skills to play with the kind of beauty and emotion that will truly impact your listeners.
Now, with breathing, rhythm, and tone, it's time to master tremolo.
Tremolo and vibrato are the musical terms to describe the wavering that can add expressiveness to a note. Tremolo is fluctuation in the volume of a note, and vibrato is the fluctuation in the pitch of a note. There's different ways to accomplish this on harmonica, but the richest way is to use the throat. So practicing the big tone train is building up the muscles we need to execute this vital technique. We can add tremolo to chords, to double stops, to splits, and to single notes. And it seems like a minor detail, but it's amazing how much expressiveness it can add to our playing. Blow notes 1 through 6 don't bend, but we can add a little tremolo to them by using the coughing technique, the same muscles that we're using to play our big tone train. Draw notes 1 through 6 do bend. So once you learn how to bend, you can put your mouth into a position that's close to what you would use to bend the note. And then the throat articulation kind of pulls it into that bent position and gives it a little bit of a pitch drop. I spoke with a vocal teacher who's worked with tons of marquee artists, and he told me that a vocal vibrato tends to hover around 5 to 6 fluctuations per second. Some's a little faster, some's a little slower, but if we play a vibrato in that range, it's going to sound natural to our ears. So I put on a metronome at 60 beats per minute and started trying to play 1 and then 2 fluctuations per second, 3 fluctuations per second, 4 fluctuations per second, and then finally 5 fluctuations per second. But I hit a ceiling there. But then I started working on the big tone train, and 6 pulses per click at 60 beats per minute is exactly the same as 4 pulses per beat at 90 beats per minute. So once we get our big tone train up to 90 beats per minute, we are exercising our muscles at the same speed as the vibrato of the world's greatest singer. Once you've practiced the big tone train to build up your throat tremolo muscles, if you'd like some other songs to practice it on, you might try taps in second position. And of course, one of the greatest songs to work on your throat tremolo is the quintessential classic harmonica instrumental by Big Walter Horton, Easy Blues, which was song number 28 in my video, The First 50 Songs You Should Learn on Harmonica, and you can check that out right here.